All right, there we go. Let's see what happens here. Try to get that going as well. There we are. We'll transition over to that. See if anyone shows up. So for anyone watching this later, I'm making this video because it's a Wednesday night. I normally do a workshop Wednesday on Wednesdays, although I haven't done one in a while. And it's kind of a weird time, and I thought I would just go live and talk for a little bit. Maybe make something, do some drawing or some painting or something. I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood. Hey, Solid Cumbie, good to see you. Yeah, I have no real agenda. I have been meaning to experiment with some painting, so maybe I'll do that. I don't know, but I'm just in the mood to talk, to chat with folks, and just have a little check in these weird, uncertain times. I never liked that phrase, in these uncertain times. You know, the times are always uncertain to some degree. It's not like the 80s were a certain time, right? Or the 90s or whatever. But these are definitely uncertain times. Very odd world over, pretty much. So, yeah, I thought it would be a nice opportunity to just get together and chat a little bit about whatever. And like I said, maybe make something. And I don't even have my tea. I should probably resolve that. I wish I could like have some music running in the background or something. I've been playing around a bit with Sonic Pi, and actually, let me just see if I pull up Sonic Pi. I have just some random things in here that I've been playing around with, just as kind of as an experiment in music. I think I've shown Sonic Pi before. Hey Becca, yeah. It's not Saturday just yet, although I can't wait for Saturday. I'll tell you that much. Probably do a bit of planning and work for on. Okay, that's that. On OnCon this weekend. Let's try Estrella 2. What is this? Probably need to lower the volume a little bit too. Where is the volume control? Now I'll just do it manually. So if I play this. Okay, yeah. Try to keep this from being too crazy. Hopefully you can hear that a little bit. There's some weird music. Let me actually I can turn things around a little bit. You can look into the kitchen as I just grab some tea. Isn't this weird? All right. How are y'all doing tonight? Can you hear the music? Music coming through? This is a more or less random composition. It just kind of throws out notes in a range. I've up D&D early. Nice. Yeah. Today was I could not focus at work today, I'll be honest. Like, I showed up at meetings and, interacted and such, but it was really hard for me to get any work done today. We all have those days, I guess. It always frustrates me a little when I have one of those just useless days. Chillaxing at home? Good to hear that, Fisher. Good to see you. So yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do some painting. I got these acrylics. Get rid of some of this stuff. I didn't say the music was good. What's a fantasy pet store? And where are my canvases? I mean, to me, when I hear fantasy pet store, I think like, you know, centaurs and manticores and such. It'd be pretty cool. Let's see what this becomes. Rise up. Let this steep for a little bit. And then what else did I want to? Oh yeah, I need other stuff. One sec. Is that all the? I think that is. No, that's not it. Where is it? There it is. So I got some brushes, and I got some basic acrylic paints. I have some little bottles of other colors. Kimono Michi. Oh yeah, the wrestler in a fantasy world. That was cute. Why am I wandering out here? I don't know. Acrylics that I need something to put things on. All right, enough of this music. It's not making me happy. All right, we'll just let that sit for a while. Toilet paper show and tell. Yeah, I do have some toilet paper. Fortunately, I went out and got a pretty big set kind of before all this happened. A package. So I'm good to know for a while. Good to go for a while. New Bleach continuation. Nice. Yeah, seems like they really want to bring that franchise back. Hey, YK2K, good to see you. Yeah, if I held up like toilet paper on stream, would that be a form of bragging? I don't know. So if I wanted to, now I've always had issues. Oh wow, they've changed OBS a little bit. They've upgraded and the icons are different. I don't know if I can handle that. My goodness. So, if I threw something in here, I added that, and then oh, no, that's not what I want actually. Can I do? Looking for a way of showing. I guess this local desktop would have to be it. Yeah, none of the rest of them really work. Although I think no. All right, so let's go local desktop. See if that works. That'll work. So if I switch over here, oops, I should probably pull up a new window. If I transition over here, we want to look at a little bit at let's see here, fantasy landscapes. Something to paint. Looking for something to paint. Something that's not too taxing. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything remotely like any of this, but I want something to practice with a little bit, just to create some kind of sense of something. I don't know what I can what would be really easy. Obviously, you know, I'm not gonna do. I always get this with this scene from Lord of the Rings. Actually, that's not Lord of the Rings because it's not the river going through it. Let's see here. What would be good? Again, I want something fairly straightforward. I always like mountains. Mountains are cool. Maybe something along those lines. To capture some of that. Maybe something like this. Obviously, that's a CGI render. I kind of like that though. The idea of mountains in the background. Let me just pop that out. That's pretty nice, I admit. Again, not trying to get everything in there. I think that'll be it. Okay, let's switch back. And then I think I can save that off. And then we can, in our thing, pull that up and scroll to that. I have too many folders, as I'm sure you all appreciate, having just way too many things. So that is kind of what I'm looking for, maybe. Just move it over here. Yeah, that might work. Oh, gotta prep out my tea, make sure it doesn't steep too long. This is a green apple chai. So chai with like dried apples in it, which I like quite a lot. Oh, but I should do a workshop. That's right. Durhay. Oh, that's weird. We're gonna do. Okay. Not sure why that's doing that. Hold on. Why is that? Camera. Because it's turned off. That would explain why. Okay, so there's there. And then this is here. So I'm going to have to switch some things around. It's going to be kind of weird. Why do I have a... Oh, that's right. Okay. So let me transition. And then move this. So we have the classic workshop view. Although for some reason it's not liking its spot there. You shouldn't be able to see the thing, so I'm going to have to zoom that in a little bit. We'll get there. One sec. Video, and we'll just zoom that in somewhat. All right, then we'll move a few things around. So this is visible, and that's the ideal. There we are. That seems to be about right, position-wise. Okay. So, I also want. Okay. Move that around a little bit. This is the side of the thing that's on. Maybe I want to be over here. Maybe come on, get there. Come on, get over there. There we are. Okay. Took a little while. We got there. So we got a nice canvas. We should probably position things a little bit so we can see that a little bit better too. There we are. So we have this, and then we know. We also want. Whoa, hold on. We also want. What's going on with my? Oh no, because that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Chop. Cool. So we'll move that over here. So you guys can see kind of what I'm working on. There we are. It's always hard. I'm working kind of backwards there. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna have to. Can I do that? Can I rotate? Because this is gonna be upside down. That's the top. Let me just see. Do anyone know if OBS has a, whoa, and now it's yellow. Can I, like, add a filter onto that to rotate it? Audio video filters, video delay, sharpen. I don't see a rotation option. This is gonna be weird. I'll also try to fiddle with white balance, make it re-white balance. No, okay. It just doesn't want to do that. We will force it. White balance yourself. That's better. Okay. So let me see. So that's what I want. So I'm going to need, obviously, something painterly up there. So I think I'm going to need some blue paint. And again, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to pop out some blue acrylic paint. Or I would try. How does this work? Okay, I need to open it first. There's a little tab there. So we'll do that first. Okay. You are witnessing painting out of nowhere. Pop that. And then I just squirted some acrylic paint just on the side there. You can just barely see that, actually. Obviously, I don't want it quite that blue. So we're going to do the same thing again. And I just want to lay down some sky. So I got some blue and some white, and let me actually grab some sticks. These are Masturin sticks. Use one of them here. That way I don't have to get the brush all messy, so to speak. Okay, that seems fine. Pretty blue sky. But heck, whatever. Obviously, this will need to be pretty big. And I'm just gonna kind of do a Bob Ross here, and just kind of spread that out. I'll be putting white over top of this. This should hopefully give me something. Okay, I need to check. This is going to be really weird upside down. OBS, rotate the source. OBS inputs. Please make this easy. No. Oh, it's a video. Come on. Image. Right click on the webcam in the source list. Transform. That easy? Right click. It is not. Things must have changed. Oh, transform. Wait a minute. Yeah. Nice. All right. It was literally that easy. Move that over. Okay. Now you can actually get a better idea of this. Okay. I think for this, again, I don't know how much I'm going to do in terms of the sky. But I'm just going to layer on some more of this blue, just in case, because I'll be basically throwing clouds over top of the entire thing. And the thing is, I don't know how I'm going to do the clouds, because I'd have to do like the gray and the white, so I'm going to have to play around with that. And I'm just going to sort of push some of that off there. This is going to something I'm going to experiment with a little bit. Oh, and I almost threw the brush right off. So I'm going to grab some white, pop that on there, and already I'm getting acrylic paint over things. That's great. I'm going to grab some of that on the tip of my brush, and I'm just going to... Nope, that's not going to work. Okay. I'd hoped... No, of course it's mixing in. Okay. But actually, that's not too bad. It's kind of a nice effect to give the sky this I don't know, this haze, a slightly lighter color. So I'm going to leave that. Okay. Then I'm assuming I'm going to need to let that dry a little bit, and I should probably clean this off. So can I get, let's see. I'm going to try just the classic water and paper towels trick. And I'll be honest, the reason I'm doing this stream is because I was just feeling a little out of it. I don't want to call it depressed. I mean, maybe it is, but just feeling kind of odd tonight. Not really wanting to do anything. Wanting to just kind of, curl up in a cocoon. Not feeling like, oh my gosh, everything's terrible, but just didn't really want to engage with my normal activities. And I thought, you know what's the best solution to that, usually, for me, is to go ahead and make something. Okay, so I'm going to try to wait for that to dry a little bit. Don't know how easy that's going to be. Acrylics should dry pretty quickly. A couple minutes, I would assume. I don't know. I'm no expert. So again, the idea is to come back on here. So maybe I should... No, I think I'm going to need the white of the clouds in the background and then the mountains on top of that. Yeah, that makes sense. So what else would I want in here? So this is Painter's algorithm. You start with the stuff in the back and then work forward from that. So yeah, now I'm going to be impatient. And I'm going to tap and, yep, it's still wet. Although maybe if I do that, it'll take up a bunch of the wet stuff and it'll dry faster. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to be impatient again. You're making all sorts of interesting assumptions there, Trump My Joy. Or are you trolling? Because if so, it's a pretty obvious troll. So let me try this. That's working pretty well. No, it's still affecting the white a bit. I'm going to fix that, change that around. Just get that in the water. So I just got some water off on the side. I'm using that to take care of this. There we are. All right, so that's just dried off some of that. So as you can see, I got a little bit of the blue mixed in with the white there. But it's still not terrible, right? Just gotta wait for that to dry, basically. So this is annoying. So how are you guys feeling otherwise tonight? I'm prepping for OnCon. Got a bunch of anime I'm prepping for the anime room. Unfortunately, got to do some prep on the video to make all that work. I've got pretty much all of the videos here, but I have to convert them all into MP4s. And so that's taking a little bit of time, but they should all be ready in time for the con, well in time. In fact, if anyone's interested, and I'll probably post this in the Discord as well, I could use somebody to sort of manage the video room. You don't have to be in there the entire time, but just someone to kick off the next set of videos, because they're not going to synchronize exactly to like 1 p.m., 3 p.m. So I'll have some videos in there, and then like some filler, and someone will need to be in there to kind of throw that out there. Hey, Akko. Hey, Josh. Good to see you. Almost home? So are you you on the road there, Solid Company? That's weird. Scrolling up. Red Mana Magic cards. It's been a long time since I played Magic. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Visually. Where'd my thing go? There we are. Finished watching Nadia. Cool. A lot of filler. Fair enough. That was mandated, however, by the financiers. I am very excited for OnCon as well. Grinding at FF14. Gotcha. Fair enough. I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo last night. That was a lot of fun. That was a heck of a lot of fun. I think I mentioned that in chat at some point. That was really cool. I have only played. I actually bought Final Fantasy VII on PC when it came out. When it came out on PC, and didn't get very far actually. It was basically my first JRPG, so I just wasn't familiar with all the tropes, and I just found it too weird. Certainly the switch between the chibi and the full-size characters I just found too odd. And so I played some of it, but it just didn't. And I could appreciate the quality behind it, but it was just too weird for me. It was too different from my tastes. The remake, though, all that is taken care of, and I really like the battle system. The battle system is exactly how I would want to play that kind of a game. I'm not as you all know, I'm not a very twitchy player, but giving the ability to basically pause the battle to queue up your next attack and then move from there to the next thing, and the fact that the fights don't take 3 minutes each is really nice. You can really move through that story quite nicely. So yeah, I was very impressed. I might end up buying and playing that when it comes out. I just don't make time for video games now the way I used to. So we'll have to see. All right, I'm going back in. Okay. Cool. I think that's mostly dried. And then again, I'm just gonna get some in up here. Just gonna get the idea of clouds, hopefully. Speaking of Final Fantasy, Cloud. And yeah, so I'm just trying to get some sense there of something Cloud-esque by just moving that brush around. And then I'll probably come back in here with like a light gray. Actually not too thrilled yet. Maybe I'll fill in a bit more of this. I don't want this to be an oval over here. So maybe move a bunch of clouds in there. Again, I am just randomly, more or less, mashing the brush into the canvas here. But I kind of like this sense of movement on the canvas, and I don't want to have blank canvas. I know that's the kind of thing that you can tell. You can tell when there's blank canvas. Okay, definitely need more white. So yeah, I really like the fact that the battle system basically lets you do attack, just over and over. But that doesn't really give you make much headway on the fight. Against easier opponents, you basically just slash, and eventually you'll win. But you really need more strategy once you actually get into the fight itself. You really need to think through what you're fighting with, what attacks you're using, all that good stuff. So I'm just spreading some white onto the canvas here. See what we get. Yeah. No idea how this is supposed to work out, but and I will eventually want some mountains down here, but again, I'm just gonna sort of lay down a bunch of white so that I can come up as far as I want on the mountains. Unfortunately, things that are farther away should be lighter, so I can actually start painting this basically right now. I should get up there as well. Always go to the edges. And then if it ends up being a little, a little much, that's okay. Some of that white gets in there. Yeah, exactly. I also liked in what I played that the characters have a lot of dialogue as it goes along. It's kind of triggering little lines of dialogue from the characters, which kind of keeps the fight a little more dynamic. So if it's an important fight, that kind of ties into the story, characters will say, "What should we do now?" And go in. It's clearly vulnerable to lightning. Do that, and it's staggered. You need to do this, or whatever. And so you kind of get that tactics stuff coming in, which is something I liked a lot. So I obviously want for the mountain something that's not fully black. Gotta do the thing. Hold on. Stand by. I want something that's kind of a muddy, in fact, which means I shouldn't use black. Because, as we all know, you can't really recover from black. It's hard to lighten up black. It's easier to start lighter and then get darker. So I'm just going to take that blue, throw some, I keep forgetting to do that. In fact, I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see more of my colors. So yeah, I found Final Fantasy VII Remake a lot of fun. So I hardly endorse spending all of your money on it. Kidding. So I'm just gonna throw some basically all three colors into it, with some yellow. And gotta do the thing. Okay. I think I'm just gonna open up all of the tubes, which I probably should have done already. And this should create something muddy. Again, I'll take a stick. And just mix that to hopefully get a brown. That's definitely a brown, but it's a little too red for my tastes. Not too bad, though. So I might actually add a little bit of black to that. Did I undo that? Nope, I didn't. So I'm just going to throw a dab of black in there. Hopefully that won't kill it. Won't darken it too much. Ooh, I like how that's turning out. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice... That's it. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Now, I don't think I want to keep using that same big brush. I may want to come back to it eventually to kind of fill in, but I think I want a slightly smaller brush for the mountains so we get that nice crisp detail, I'm thinking. Thank you, Akka. So I'm just rinsing off that brush. There we go. And now, I don't have a lot of big brushes. This is my next biggest brush. I'm going to start there. Let's get that out of the way. And yeah, I'm just going to layer in a mountain range. Problem is, I don't want it to look... I kind of like the idea of that. Having a peak there, but I don't think I want a flat top. I want something more like that. Yeah. And I want a nice crisp edge. And then maybe like how that kind of goes down to like a mountain pass or something. I don't know. Anime background artist. Man, I don't think I will ever cease to be amazed at the skill of anime background artists. Like, that is just so amazing. If it's not right, you can always change it. This is your world. I do like having that sort of set of peaks. I'm going to see what I can do there to do a couple of little peaks. Hard to do this in a way that feels natural, I got to admit. And that's, I think, what I need. I need a little bit more stuff going on, not just, peak valley, peak valley, peak valley. Get some interesting shapes going there. I don't know. Keep just making very obvious things. Trying not to be too obvious. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and do kind of one final peak there. And then come down. And then the rest is going to be... And I'll do these bushes here. Okay. So then we'll just come up here. And pull down. And so I'm just trying to fill in some of that so I don't have to come back up. And now I think I will grab the big brush. The big brush! And come in and fill this in a bit. It's interesting, there's actually like a mountain, I don't know if you can see, I can't really point it out. So like right there on the thing, there's like a mountain in the background. So I wonder if I could, I'm tempted. Well, no, wait. Let me fill in this. I'm just going to fill the entire thing in. That may be too dark, but let's find out. I'm concerned because I can't really go any lighter than this, right? I would have to go darker than this if I wanted to put mountains in front of all these. So I'm concerned maybe I should have gone a little lighter on this color so I could put things in front of it. Because I can't really remix this color is the problem, right? Like I've already got this color. If I try to go any darker, that's going to be a bit of a problem. But maybe I have enough. We'll see. Throw that in there. Try to come down and fill that out. Okay. Don't know quite how far to go down, but I kind of want to have plenty of space to work with here. I do want the idea that those mountains are pretty big. I also want to figure out how to add a bit more detail to this, maybe. Like I'm not too crazy about this just giant giant bunch of black. So I wonder if I add some white to give the idea of like snow up there, if that will be of interest. Pull that down. Because I kind of like what you're already seeing here. Up here, you can see there's some slight areas which it's a little lighter, where I didn't put as much paint on. I kind of like that. So I'm wondering if I can do something like that with maybe some slightly whiter browns. I'm going to grab some white and put it to the side, just a dab. And then I'm going to take the smaller brush and just mix those together, just part of it, to get a lighter color. And again, not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I'm hoping if I just kind of dab in here and there, I can create the illusion of things going on. You know, things, stuff. And the answer is not really. Yeah, that's not really doing much of interest to me. Perhaps I need more? Sometimes if things aren't working right, you need to kind of push them further. So I'm just going to push that further. It also is kind of blending it in, so it's not as obvious. Then I'm kind of screwing it all up. Purple mountains, majesties. I'm going to put some up on the ridge there, maybe? See if that's a good idea? Don't know. Kind of hoping for the idea of, I don't know, definition or something. Yeah, so I kind of missed that boat, clearly. Started a little too dark on these. I'm just going to try this. And actually, you know what I can do? I don't know how much of this I have to work with, but I'm going to try putting a peak here. It's clearly a little further back. Maybe like that. And then try to fill that in just right down to that line. Oops. So there's another mountain a little further back. I don't know. Not terrible. Not terrible. I wonder if I grab some white and use that back up in there to indicate, that's kind of nice. Indicate maybe some snow up there. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind doing that here as well. I'm just gonna grab some mostly white paint. Put that up here. Get across that idea that there's some snow up here on these peaks. That's not really working out too great. So again, I'm going to try to push it a little further. I think the problem is I need to have more on one side than the other. Kind of in the middle there, which doesn't quite make sense. Maybe some over on that side. Cool, not too bad. Then maybe I can grab some of this and just kind of drag it down. Again, just kind of creating the illusion of more things going on here. I think I'm getting too broad on my brush strokes. I don't know. Trying to create the illusion of depth. It just doesn't feel much like a mountain now. Oh well. I can live with that. Thank you. Starting darkness is correct. You go lighter on top. That does make sense to me. Wouldn't things further in distance have more haze, so they would get lighter in the background? Maybe I'm not thinking through my physics right. I would think things further away would be lighter because there's more atmosphere between, right? And so that creates kind of that haze. Maybe I'm thinking something else. Would not be the first time. Let's see here. Make that happen. So, E53 Toker has decided to get onto YouTube and call people nerds. That's an interesting direction to take. Seems like a really valuable use of your time. Okay. So now I want green back here. Let me grab... What is green? Green is blue and yellow. Blue and yellow. Painting like a child. I know of no other way to paint. I'm just going to mix those together to get something greeny. Hopefully fairly dark green. And I know there's some purple underneath there. I'm actually not horrified by that. Getting a little bit extra color in there. Good job and pay taxes. See, the problem is that's not even a good troll. It's an obvious troll, right? Like, why would you do that? Like, you're advertising what you're doing. The whole point of a troll is to get people to argue with you and to sort of provoke emotion. When you do that obviously, like, it's just not very effective. All right. Yeah, I'll just go later off the distance. I mean, you can paint over dark point with other values to create depth. Oh, I got you. Okay, thanks, HK for HK47. Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense. All right, so I'm just going to throw down a bunch of just green blobs. And hopefully I can come back in here with something a little lighter to create like highlight-ish things. Yeah, we'll go up here and then down here. Let's see here. You know who else has nowhere to go in life? trolls on the internet. Like, if you think artists have nowhere to go in life, you're in for a fun life. There we go. All right. Then there's this sort of misty thing, which I might put in next. Just sort of, it looks like just general sort of light, and it's really hard to see this. Let me give you a slightly better lighting situation there. Hopefully we can get some better light on that green. Yeah, there we go. You can see how that's a pretty vibrant green. There we are. So yeah, so I think I'm going to add just some wispy gray stuff in the back there. Hopefully that will pull things in. Again, Amanda, it's obvious trolling. It is obvious you're trolling. So I don't know what you're trying to accomplish here. Nothing you say, I'm going to take seriously. But you have now violated YouTube's service. So now I get to report you to YouTube. There we go. Alrighty. So like I said, I need something vaguely gray. Exactly, Mozone. Clearly a very complex theological system there. I don't know why people think that that's going to cause people to actually engage with them. Maybe some people do. Maybe that does cause some people to interact with that kind of behavior. I don't know. I knew what trolling was when I was like, 14. All right, so let's just mix that up, get something hopefully a fairly light gray. That is not a very light gray. Well, we'll see. Nah, it's not too bad. So I got this for my gray. It's honestly a little, yeah, I'm going to add some more white. More white. Thank you, Becca. Oh, standard trolley stuff, You suck and you're ugly. That kind of thing. And then it got sexual. And it's like, nope, that crosses the line. And at that point, I report and block you. Yeah. And by the way, if there's ever somebody in chat that you guys think is, that you want removed, let me know. That kind of stuff is just kind of like, for me, yeah. What is your name? What is your quest? This is interesting. This sort of fine mist. I think I'm going to try to bring this in and sort of fill in this area. I have to come back in with the thing. I'm a little scared of this, I'll be fully honest. But hopefully with a little bit of little highlights maybe, it'll look okay. I don't know. let's go underneath. Let's just go do all this in here. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Classic. Yeah, those movies, Life of Brian, Airplane, too. Not just Monty Python. Some great stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to actually load this up. I know I'm going a little bit further than the actual painting does. But I'm just going to throw in a bunch of this gray back there as just kind of this general sort of fog soup thing. And then try painting anime characters. Yeah, they move too much. I can do some fan art, but just like line art. I have not tried to like paint anime characters. That is a skill that is kind of beyond me at this point. And then we have those mountains over the side. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Get a bit more of this paint off. I'll need to empty my my bowl as well, because it's getting pretty full of paint. So yeah, I need to fill in. Let me just fill in these spots. So I don't know. Speaking of that Final Fantasy VII game and how I, played a lot of it, could recognize that it was I could see why other people liked it, but it just wasn't for me. Have you guys had that with like video games or something else, where you were like, this just, I might finish it someday, but it just isn't feeling like my kind of thing. What have been some things you had that experience with? I was like that with Akira for a long time, actually. And it's still not my favorite movie, but I get it more now. Okay. Let's see if I can grab some of that. Just fill that in. There we go. It's annoying me. It's annoying me. I don't like being annoyed. All right. I'm glad I'm doing this tonight. Feels good to make something. To quote Mr. Rogers. Okay. So we got that going on. Looking back, I want more. Maybe I'll put some green over here as well. How much green do I have left? Ooh, got a fair amount on that brush. How much green? Now that green's pretty much all taken care of. So I need more green. So let's throw some green on here. We'll add some green down here. I may even do just a whole bunch of things. A bunch of things. Always good to have a bunch of things. See how that works out. But yeah, drawing anime characters, that's a job. That is hard. Oh good, I'm getting a color pretty similar to the old one. Nice. I actually didn't want something exactly the same, so but that's a little different. All right, so I'm going to grab some of that. I feel like that gray may not be dried yet, though. You want to wait a moment. Well, I can put in some down here. Just get it going, right? If I were to put it in there, how's that? Yeah, that's definitely not. Okay. I'll be patient. Be a little patient. I'm going to throw a bunch here and then do this strip of grass going up there. So I might just do a whole bunch of this green. Again, I can't go all the way up to that gray yet because the gray isn't dried, but I'm hopeful this acrylic will be good enough, will dry fast enough. That I can get up in there pretty quick. How far do I want to go with that? I think just this far. If I had a hairdryer, I could just go up and... Oh, actually, Not bad. If I just sort of, oh, that's doing some neat sort of Bob Rossian shrub stuff. I'm happy with that. Yeah, just dab the paint up there. Gives that sense of sort of brushes or something. There we go. Look at the giant brush. Cool. I'm pretty thrilled with that, actually. Do a bit more. Yeah. I'll go to bed when I'm ready. Actually, no. I'm now going to put some white in there. Ooh, I've got a bunch of white right here. Actually, I can just get off. Come on, close. All right. And so I'm going to mix this white with the green and hopefully get like an accent color going here. That's a much different green. It's a kind of a bluey green. Let me add some yellow to that. It's just not quite what I'm looking for. There we are. That's pretty nice. Still a little blue. A lot better. All right, let me get some of that off of the brush so it's not just totally covered with that. I'm going to try to have a brush that just has like some... Ooh, maybe I should move to a different brush for this. Yeah. I'm going to move to this small brush that has fairly separate bristles. I'm just going to try to... That's too much. I just don't want that much on the brush. I want to kind of... Like I want... I want to just do highlights, basically. But it's not really giving me that. It's giving me large dabs of color. So I'm just going to have to be a little more careful. Wonder if I can just like do that. I can like brush like that. I don't know. Looks like fire. Which, you know, hey. Maybe the brushes in this world are all on, or maybe everything's on fire in this world. All the plants are on fire. Green fire. Green flame. I don't know. I'm just experimenting. So again, I just kind of want that sense of something, of detail. But this is not really giving me what I want. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong. Perhaps I need a different kind of a brush. Yeah, this is not right. And again, I'm not sure what I want. I'm getting some detail there. Thanks, HA47. There is some definition there, but it's just, I don't know. And then, yeah, we'll just do some more things. I'm going to try going for some variety here. I have this tendency to be very linear. You know, here's a strip of one color, a strip of another color, which I know is just not good in general. I'm going to try to give this a little more definition on the top there. Sense of the tops of trees sort of sticking up, hopefully. bit more of that. And I know some artists will spend all sorts of crazy time on this, and maybe that's what I need. I don't know. All right, so that's, again, not terrible. Now, if I were to try to do that down here a little bit, and just do some general sort of brush strokes. See, that's working out kind of nicer. I kind of like that. It looks more like, you know, trees or brush or something. I will eventually have to do a tree, obviously. And then maybe, let's try this. Let's try just doing some kind of brushy strokes with a sense of low hanging, or, you know, low things. Nope, that's not working out at all. Okay. So let me just see if I can kind of blend that into the canvas. Just make this sort of a general, like a little hillock or something, I don't know. Okay, there we are. Successfully hid that mistake. Happy accident, happy accident. I have a sponge or fan brush. Very small amount of lighter green on a brush that's almost dry, and sponge the paint on top. Yeah, it's a good idea. I do not have any of those. That's probably my problem. All I have are these sort of regular brushes. And no, I mean, I have like sponges, but not for this. So I don't think I want to waste, so to speak, a regular sponge on this just yet. Ooh, I got some paint on my my table. All right. So now I want the brighter green for down here, and I'm going to squeeze some more there, give it a bunch more yellow, and add some white. But maybe I'll try that. That's not a bad idea. Obviously, to add some. Actually, no. I know. I was just saying that that's not a good idea. I need to use a. Actually, I can use that one. Use a stick to mix. That way your brush doesn't get all loaded down with that. And then I can add some white to that. Hopefully that will brighten it up just right. Getting some acrylic everywhere. And so hopefully this will be a nicer green for this foreground. That's actually a yellow, more yellowy green. So I'm going to add a bit more yellow to that. I'm going to have a lot of paint. Another thing I'm still figuring out is kind of how much paint to use. It's definitely a skill I'm not skilled at. I need more stuff. We are talking about whatever. Potato God, welcome. No, HK47. I really appreciate it. You're helping a lot. Please provide more feedback. I'm always looking to learn. Heck, I'm an educator, so I'm all about learning. It's literally my job. Okay, that's a slightly... Okay, but I'll go with that. Definitely a lighter green, more like a sea green, as far as I'm concerned. Let me just grab some of that on the brush. I will definitely want to play around with that more. Interesting how I can more or less just load paint on the brush and just blow it all away. Okay, and yeah, we'll just go straight up here. Yeah, we're talking about whatever. Night Mozone, good seeing you, as always. But yeah, like I said before, I was having kind of a quiet night of introspection and realized I need to do something. After a day of I don't want to really do anything. It's like let's do something. And again, I'm just gonna lay this down so I have something kind of to work with. But yeah, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe I should grab a sponge. I kind of like that darker color. Can I stab a little bit of that in here and there? Yeah, so I've got some of the darker color on the brush. I'm just kind of stippling it on the surface just to try to make it a little less, uniform. Give it some texture. Okay. So you're trying to raise this up a little bit so you can see a bit more of the colors there. Okay. So this is definitely not what I was looking for initially. So I need, hey Sebastian, good to see you. Thanks, Peter God. Yeah, no, this is not going to look anything like a Bob Ross painting. I am nowhere near at that level. Yeah, let me get a sponge. Heck. So I just cut a piece off a sponge. Obviously, it's square, which I don't think I want. So let me shape that a bit. Because if there's one thing I'm suspecting, it's that if I have a square brush, I'll end up with squarish things. So I'll round that off a little bit. And I'm going to take, let's see here, sort of dab it over the trees that you have with very little paint on the brush. Okay, I'm just going to do the slightest dab of paint on the sponge. Might be too much of the slightest dab of paint. Again, that's pretty light, and so I'm just going to try to, yep. Look at that. That's pretty cool. It's definitely creating something much more bushy. That's nice. Like you say, just the slightest amount of paint. And this is an extremely coarse tool at this point. I'm hoping if I kind of do this kind of thing, it will look something vaguely sort of tree-like or bush-like. Oh, that's too much. C'est très intéressant. Never want any one single thing in your painting. One thing I did learn from Bob, to be aware of individuals. Looks a little unnatural. I'm also a fan of trying to be fairly, having odd numbers of things often helps with that sort of sense of realism. Okay. Again, not bad, not bad. How about first on a paper towel, so it's almost dry in the brush. Gotcha. So get all that paint off. And then let's see what happens if I put it in there, dab it all off on the paper towel, and then I'm going to go down in here. Yeah, that's nice. And just get kind of an underbrush going there. Thank you. This is definitely a big help. Cool. Yeah, that's starting to give us some definition down there. Then I really like in here how we have this very yellowy green. I'm going to try adding a bunch more yellow up here. That's a lot of yellow. Mixing that up. Yeah, very yellowy. Although it's actually blending in quite a bit. I have a lot of the green paint. And then I'm going to try, actually let's try that effect again. I'm going to do it a bit more. I'm going to try to get this more or less everywhere. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm getting a bit on there and then just dabbing it. So I'm actually getting a fair amount on the canvas in some places. Then it just kind of dabs into something kind of grassy as I press that around. Nice, that's definitely giving, again, sort of a grass textured effect. Although it's not lasting too long. Gotta figure that out. And a bit more of that. This is where you just kind of have to be, I can tell I'm just going to have to, do this everywhere. Just repeat the same process, a bunch of different places, and recognize that it's not too creative, but it will give me that feel I'm looking for. That's great. Thank you, HK. That's a really helpful tip. A bit more down here, and then just kind of brush that, spread that out. There we are. Okay, cool. So I've now got something more grassy down there. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this just general grayness. So I'm wondering something. If I move these brushes out of the way and clean them, you imagine that. Clean brushes, that seems like it would be a useful idea. I know, radical. As you add another layer, lighter green, yellow on that, you can also add more depth to each tree bush, make it pop. That's true, that's a great point. I will do that momentarily. Just clean that brush. Right. That off. I'll need to do like a deep clean on these in a bit. But, so now I'm going to try. I'm going to do the same thing, but with like a corner of that sponge, and hopefully I can get in here. Like you say, give those some extra pop. Yeah. Obviously, it doesn't have to be just this color. But if I were to do some more back in here, just sort of more or less randomly throw some lightness. I hope this will give the sense of some light on these trees in the back. barely anything on that sponge. Okay, there we are. Yeah, that adds a little bit. So I could actually certainly brighten that up, get a little bit extra, like you were saying, brighten that, make it pop a little bit. So let me throw some more white on that. I think just a lighter color will be nicer. I'm not sure. Don't know why I think that, but I'm just gonna experiment, see what I get. Slightly lighter. Okay. Let's use that. And oops. There was more on there than I thought there was. So let me just brush some more on there. That's actually not terrible. It's a little different. And I'm going to try doing that in the back there as well. Just add some extra brightness. I'm not sure if this is just making a little too complex. This might just seem like it's becoming kind of muddied with all of this color. Don't know. Let's see what I get. I'm not displeased. Again, trying to avoid doing just lines everywhere. One of the few things I do know about this process. Yeah, I know I'm not the most scintillating of conversationalists when I'm doing this stuff. But, you know, that's a difficult skill. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that for now. Although, actually, you know what? I'm going to add some more. Let me just throw some, just sort of like, yeah. We'll have like some grass down here that's just like sitting there. Maybe folks come down here and sit on the grass, like a beach or something. All right, I want some water flowing through here. But I know if I just put some, some blue down, that's going to look weird. So maybe what I'll do, I'm going to grab some blue, mix some white with that, and I'm just going to lay down some like streaks of blue in here. So like just across to imply that there's some water behind that. I don't know what I'm doing, anyone. All right. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. That's right. I am singing from the Rankin Bass Hobbit movie. Like all the cool kids. Let's see here. Get that there. Clean that off a little. I think this will be a good brush for this. We'll mix that up. Try to get a nice, actually, I can use that one. So, this is way off on the side. Now you kind of can't see this. It's going to have to be much lighter than that. Okay. Always more difficult to lighten a color than darken one. Duly noted. Okay. So I have a nice light blue. Light blue there. So, like I said, I'm going to try something here. Dab with the regular brush, pressing down like the sponge. You want to dab on the paper towel first. So the brush is almost chalky and not wet paint. Gotcha. So I'm going to grab, I'm going to put just a little bit of this on here. And I'm just going to try to, that's almost nothing. So I'm just brushing in some blue, again with almost nothing on the brush, to try to suggest, ooh, that's more than suggestion, like a river running through this. Okay, yeah, definitely. I like that very subtle implication. I mean, more than an implication, but this idea of like a river through fog. Maybe do more down here, because there'd presumably be a little less fog. Where you're closer to it. Put that there. And then maybe a few little brush strokes back in here, just to again kind of imply that there's maybe water back here. Maybe there's a lake. Maybe have more back here. There's a cove back in here. Yeah, there's a cove back in here, definitely. There's definitely a cove. But again, I'm trying to just imply it. Let me go a little bit more side to side to imply still water. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. I'm not too thrilled now with this in here. I'm going to try a bit more like this. And then maybe I'm going to throw another layer of white on top of this. Just to give it that a little bit more, sense of wispy fog. And that I will use the then I'll use the brush on again. I'll just fill the brush with that. And then layer that with some of the gray. Add a little bit of the gray to the white to get hopefully a nice, there we are. So to follow your advice, I'm trying to basically get all of the paint off of that brush. There we are. And I'm sure my tea is, oh no, the mug's still hot, good. Completely forgot about my tea. I'm going to grab a little bit of that light gray. Ooh, too much. Yeah, and now I've used up all that. Okay. That's all right. I'll just have some you know, some streaks. Streaks of fog. That's a thing. That happens. I like that quite a bit, actually. That just sense of fogginess overlaid with everything. In fact, I might add a bit more. It doesn't really make sense that it's just on the water. Have some sort of creeping up here onto that landmass. Should probably figure out something to do with the landmass. Try to sort of blend those together. And now I think if I can dry that off and then do some light blending, I'm hopeful it can look a little bit more wispy. Here we are. And actually, I might go with quite a lot of it in the back. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's quite nice. Again, that sense of the fog just kind of filling out everywhere. And I'll do that, and that Bob Ross swipe across, just to blend. Moving around a bit. Should clamp this down. So just moving back and forth across that to blend those colors together a bit, since it is fog. And actually, let's do a bit more over here. Yeah, that's nice. I like the idea that this cove back in here has a fair amount of fog rolling in. What's a good cove without some fog, right? That's right. Okay. I'm just gonna run that over, do some bit of blending in. All right, now this clearly needs one more thing. Gotta have a tree. Can't be a painting without a tree, right? Oh, I also need some. Actually, you know, I was talking about how I wanted to do some stuff with the clouds to give some definition to those. That's not making me particularly happy. That's working out a little bit better. Man, that canvas is showing through. Did I just not paint that? Weird. So I just want to give this a little more sense of clouds moving in here. But I'm definitely not getting cloudy feelings here. And it's probably my brush. I'm just using the wrong shape brush for this. Or just not enough paint. Ooh, that's kind of, yeah, that does not make me happy at all. Okay. Hold on. Grab some white. And I'm going to paint over that more or less. I'm actually going to throw some gray on that, a little bit of gray. So hopefully I'll get a little, oh, got some green in there. Green's not what I want either. Okay, that's actually better in and of itself, although it's clearly a lot. Not nearly white. But this might actually kind of rescue this if it's just closer to the current cloud colors. And I can kind of blend that in a bit more. Might save that somehow. Maybe, sorta, kinda. Yeah, no, that's not great. I just wanted to add some cloud definition. All right. So, no, I am not happy with that whatsoever. That is a fail. But you know what we do? We clean off our big old brush. We grab some white paint, and I'm going to completely redo that. I'm going to cover that up with white. I got to pronounce it white. It is apparently a painter's requirement. All right. Still a fair amount of paint on that. All right, 1 second. I definitely need to rinse this off a bit more. Alright, so I'm just going to take some white and entirely paint over that gray. Those big old blobs of white. And yeah, there's still some gray there, but actually I'm hopeful I can kind of do some broad strokes, so to speak, to incorporate that in a little bit. So there's some, some slightly light gray in those areas, which might actually give me the effect I'm looking for. That was just too much gray, I think. I think I just overdid it, quite simply. Okay, so if we do this, and we blob a bunch more white up here, again, kind of try to take that out as much as possible, and then I'm going to kind of just do some brush work here, maybe even a little bit of swirliness, hoping that will end up looking more like, oh yeah, there's some slight swirly clouds up there. Okay. Maybe I can mix that down a little bit more to here, so it's not just all white. Okay, so that's less bad than it was before. I think I can live with that level of kind of weirdness. And again, I'm just kind of trying to work that a bit into the canvas so I have some sense of weirdness. And then I'm actually going to take a little bit of that and work it in over here. I'm going to try doing that again. Add the white, excuse me, and just work that over it to create just some slight variation in the cloudiness, if you will. Cool. I'm going to stop there with that. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to try to get all the paint off of that. Grab a little bit. I'm going to experiment a little bit. So if I just did this. Nope. Man. The idea was to just throw in a little bit of paint, but obviously I've got just way too much on this brush. Okay. Be gone. Be gone. It's one thing I love about acrylics. Not that I have much experience in it, but I do know how easy it is to just annihilate mistakes. All right. So, tree. Thanks, H847. Glad to hear that. That's why I did that. Appreciate it. So, tree. I have some brown up here, but I think it's mostly dried. Is that right? Yeah, there's a little left, but yeah. So, what am I going to do? Let's do some red, some yellow. That's way too much. I am killing that. For one tree, that's ridiculous. Okay. And then we'll do a little bit of blue. The dab will do you. All right. And then again, we will mix those up. Undoubtedly, I'll have to add some black to that. That's giving me a pretty nice brown. Yeah, it's a pretty nice brown. I'm not going to change that at all. Yeah. I can live with that brown. That's a solid brown, actually. Okay. I'm going to take a nice clean brush. Ooh. It's a small brush. This is going to be a nice big old tree. This brush is not really enjoying this brown. So now we're going to fill that out. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the leaves on this tree. Because I'm not a big fan of the whole, hey, this is a tree that just doesn't really have anything on it. It's like, no, there should be something at the top. We'll give it some branches. Something that goes off this end there. Yeah, This brush is clearly not ideal for this, but, you know, I'm going to make it work. I'll have a branch that comes up like this. Important not to make your branches all the same, obviously. Now the test. Now the liquid test. I'm going to grab some of that light green. I'm going to get most of the paint off of my brush. And I'm going to dab. That's not working at all. No. That's what just happened. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. That's a problem. You repair my trunk a little bit. So that needs to be a lot drier. Okay. So yeah. Should have been obvious, but I can't just dab directly onto that when it's still wet, and I have very little paint on my brush. It would just destroy it. So, good to know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this does not thrill me, honestly, as a painting. It's not bad. I think I need more definition of color. I probably need like brighter colors for my grass. I think it just doesn't pop enough, and it doesn't really feel like much. It just feels like a bunch of like lakes of color to me. So yeah, but you know, live and learn. So I need to wait a little while for that to dry. I think I'm going to stop there for tonight. Eventually I'll come back in and dab that in a little bit. Just dab some green on the side here to give these leaves. And I'll probably end up using the sponge and just dab that on there. That worked really well. So that'll do it for this Workshop Wednesday tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Hope this was interesting to you. This is, again, the not quite finished painting. That's pretty much all of it. By no means a masterpiece, but you know, I made something tonight. It's not too bad. All right, that'll do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, make something.